Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our monthly strategy for the Thai stock market outlook for the month of May. Let's start with the three key factors to influence the set index movements for this month. For the first first factors would be oil price volatilities. As the global oil price rallied by more than 70% over the past 2 months, do the price rally ahead of fundamentals? I would say yes. We think if we compare the persistent oversupply circumstance in the oil market, like shown in the chart here, the spread between oil demands and oil supplies quite may widen in the fact of the faltering demand against the backdrop of a sharper than expected slowdown in the global economies. And one of good reasons backing this rally was the short-term speculations on oil production cut. But this factor would be a further strong support for oil price. I would say no. As the Saudi Arabia visions in 2030's reform plans, a package of economic and social policy designed to free the kingdom from dependence on oil export. The Saudi Arabia says it could achieve its vision even if oil is lower than $30 per barrel, reflecting its strong financial asset that would enable the kingdom to withstand the sharp decline in global oil price. So for these reasons, the possibility of the deal to freeze or scale back current production levels among major oil producers that have periodically called the meetings may not be a strong catalyst for oil price anymore. So we think the oil price is in cautious state, like shown in the graph here. It's quite the same patterns of sharp rallies in the beginning of years. For this year, it started to pick up since the mid of February and went up around $20 or almost or over 70% during these 2 or 3 months. Quite the same patterns happens in the early of the year of last year. It's picked up around mid of March, went up around $20 or over 50, or around 50%. But what is interesting is after that, after the sharp rallies, the oil price enters into the sideways mode for over 2 months before the sharp corrections happens. So right now, if it trades in the same patterns, it would be a cautious state and it maybe enters into the sideways mode for the next 1 or 2 months. It depends on what's happened in the global economies that may impact the concerns about the oil demand again. So the factors may be not quite bullish for stock market anymore for the oil price. The second factors would be the policy meetings that will be held on May 11th. For this time, in our views, there seem to be no reasons for the Bank of Thailand's Monetary Policy Committees that has a key role to maintain price stability in the economy to be in a hurry to pull the trigger on the rate cut. As you can see from the inflation front, the core inflation still held in positive territories, though the headline inflation remains mired in the negative zones. but the inflation expectations are set to pick up pace in the second half of this year. And another factors is the exchange rate. You can see from the bar charts here that the depreciations of the Thai baht over the past 2 years also remain in line with its regional counterpart. It's not for the 2-year trailings. Thai baht was not too much different from the regional average. It depreciated around 8 to 9%. But for the 1-year trailings, on the other hand, the baht seemed being in the upper range of the currency depreciation in the regions at around 8% right here, compared to the regional average around 4%. So we still think the monetary policy committee still have no reason to cut the rate in these near states. However, there is still room for the rate cut by the central bank as the real interest rates remain in positive territories. If the need to stimulate the economy increase, so we think the Bank of Thailand will still keep the room for the economies to developments if anything's not happen as expected, especially in the investment fronts. So they may be come back and use the monetary policy to spur the economy up again later. But for these days, we think they may be hold it's for this time meetings. The third factors for this month is the re-auctions of the 4G 900 megahertz spectrums that will be held on the May 27th. For this factor, we seen is maybe have only minimal positive for the stock market. As you can see from the summary table here, that for this time of re-auctions, they have the stricter bidding conditions, as the reserve price for the new auctions will begin at Jazz Mobile Broadband's winning bid price in the previous auction in mid of December 2015 at around $75 billion against only 12.8 billion baht in the previous auctions. So, and also the new guarantee conditions will also require the prospective bidder to place 5% of the new reserve price, or around 3.7 billion baht before the auctions, against the only 644 million baht in the previous auctions. And if the bidder default on the license payments, the NBTC would confiscate the bank guarantee plus the compensation payments of around 15% of the new reserve price. So totaling the default, if the default payments happens, the bidder may have to pay around 15 billion baht. So we can see that they stick the bidding condition, so may lead to a successful auction for this time. The license would be given to the one that really need and able to have the license, but the positive impact may not that much, So if the advance win the license, there may be some but limited upside for its share price, as it must shoulder additional cost of at least 5 billion baht a year, and the additional cost figures may rise along with the bid increments from the reserve price. By our estimates, every 10 bits increments or around 1.5 billion baht will shave around 0.5 baht per share of our target price for advance, which is at which is at 166 baht per share right now. But on the other hand, if True takes the license, it would be negative for both share price of Advance and True, as Advance may lose its competitive positions due to the smallest amount of bandwidth among the top three carriers, while True could face a growing risk of a capital call and remain mired in the red for more than what we have previously estimated for 3 consecutive years as a result of a massive burden from its 2 previously awarded licenses. So, for the set index in May, it seemed lacking for strong catalysts to push a solid upside, while a boost from the active earning play during earning seasons may be limited, as there remains scope for further market EPS downgrades. And the set index is currently trading at around 15 times forward PE, which is the upper bound of its trading range over the past 3 years. So it seems to us that the markets may remain in a go-nowhere mode, but the risks seem to be biased to the downside in the month of May, amidst external or global economic uncertainties, as the famous phrase of "sell in May and go away" is something to be cautious. From the historical statistics, it shows that the Thai stock market dropped in May in 4 out of the past 5 years, so should be cautious in the month of May. The trading range for the set index in this month also remain pegged at 1360 to 1440 points, similar to the previous month. For the investment strategy, 2 key investment themes to pay in this month still be the government's policy play and the earning play. So our top pick for inclusion in our model portfolio in the month of May, including ASEFA, LIT or Lease IT, Lad Prao General Hospital or LPH, and the TVT or TV Thunders, which my colleague Kun and I will come to give you all the details about each stock.
Okay. The first one is the ASEFA Public Company Limited. We are see the outlook still good on the sizable backlog. In the first quarter, we are preview the earning result for the first quarter. The net profits will rise 47%. As the sales growth and the strong margin can should offset the rising of the expense, which is caused by the increased staff level, and they increase the staff level to put it for the future growth in the future. So our forecast assumption is based on the quarterly sale is grow by 20% year on year, and the margin still strong. Looking forward for the earning for this year, we have the backlog on hand is 1.7 billion, and of which 70% would be booked as a revenue this year. And also the company still has more chance to add more backlog as they plan to bid for new project for the rest of this year. In addition, right now they are has a good chance expect to win additional subcontract from the recent bidding round of the solar farm scheme for the government agencies and the farm cooperatives, which require the bidding winners to start supplying solar power by the end of this year. So for the ASEFA earning profile still strong, and we will still see a huge backlog to back up the growth. Current valuation is still inexpensive. We still have a buy with the target price of 6.75 baht a share. The second one is the list is public company limited. We also see the strong growth of this company, even though the economics is still weak. In the first quarters, we expect the first quarter will have a profit 21 million. It's up 35% year on year. It's on the back of the growing loan portfolio and the revenue as the company is one of the alternative non-bank funding sources in Thailand. And for the earnings for the 2016, we expected the company to post the profit growth of 30%, which is due to number one is the company aim to increase the factory loan 100% on the expansion of the SME customer base. Secondly, they are planning to increase the bid bond for the SME that has the contract with the government with around 100% year on year. This is due to the government is switching from the e-bidding to the e-bidding from the e-auction, which will increase the chance of winning the contract. And thirdly, the project backup financing will contribute around 30% of the total revenue. So the LIT is the small cap with a strong growth profile, the tight risk control policy. Right now, the share price is trading below our justified P ratio of 25.9 times. So there's still plenty of upside from our valuation. We have a buy with the target price 12.50 baht a share. The third stock is Lat Phao General Hospital. We see the company will be deliver the best earning among in the sector after they gradually open the excellence centers. And in the first quarter, we expected the profit 40 million is up 171% year on year. This is due to the low base effect of the first quarter of last year, but most at all, the company can get the benefit from the growth of the OPD and the IPD volumes, as well as the continue open the excellence centers, especially the eye centers, which will all of these will attract more patients and make the company generate more revenue. For the earnings for the 2016, we expect the company to achieve the profit growth of 57.9%, and most of the reason is due to number one, the likely increase in the patient traffic volume, followed by the gradual opening the excellence centers, and secondly, the 10% rise in the quotas for the social security patients, and thirdly, the continued strong growth outlook for its subsidiaries on the back of the market rich expansion. So in our view, the company is still on pace of the strong growth this year, and right now the stock is still offers some upside from our target price 9 baht a share. The last one would be the TV Thunder Public Company. We we are called for the speculation trading for the about the 1 month ahead due to receive the warrant light, and also we are expect the good catalyst from the first quarter of 2016. In the first quarter of 2016, we expect the company to post a strong earnings up to the 417% year-on-year. This is due to the sale and service revenue will jump on 97%. And also, this is due to the TV production revenues. In the production of the dramas and the varieties is show a very strong growth, and this would offset the 5% drop in the advertising revenues. And secondly, for the warrant issue is underway. Right now, they are in the process of issuing the 200 million unit of warrant, and the stock will go ex-warrant on the May 4th. The warrant will give the right for the warrant is the ratio of the one TV Thunder warrant number one for every 4 common share of the TV Thunder. And the TV Thunder warrant number one has a term of 2 years, and the exercise price 1.5 baht a share. And the warrants can be exercised after 1 year. For the first exercise date is the June 30th on the 2017. So there would be no dilution effect this year. So in terms of the trading strategy for this stock, we are expect the share price maybe is right, will have a rally due to the warrant right underway, and also the good result in the first quarters. We have a buy on this one with a target price is 2.16 baht a share. This is for the stock is just to pay for the short-term catalyst. This would be all for this month, our monthly call for this month. Thank you for your attention. I'll see you next month.